here in the winner's bracket. And spawning here in the bottom left side of the map, playing for Dead Pixels. We've seen him all too many times. It's one of our favorites, Patience.
In the top right, as the Red Terran, he is Janair's Cure.
Again, another one of our favorites. I love this guy just because I feel like we don't get to be hipster trash with any other player. But we literally have like timeline proof we liked Cure before anyone else.
Any of y'all.
Now, this is actually, as much as I like Cure, no, as much as I love Cure, I'm actually rooting for Patience on this one. Patience made it to 2 qualifying matches in the last qualifier and flopped versus Terran both times. And what really astonished me about this wasn't that he lost to Terran. You're like, okay, imba, ratio, balance, whatever. But it was the way in which he did. For example, that very last one, most anticlimactic loss ever against one Hellion, disappointing as hell for everybody, including himself.
Yeah. I don't know what was up with that too, because I was just gonna go into how Patience actually 2-0'd Alive, and that's what knocked Alive down first, and then Sulky did, and Alive still fighting against Seed in our losers round right now. But then losing to one Helen in the finals was not the greatest showing, and
Actually,
it's already a lot different. Hey.
Speaking of that losers bracket, between Seed, Alive, Trap, and then one of these 2 players falling to fight against Trap, the remaining qualifying matches actually look pretty nice still. But to give you guys a bit of a timeline, because again, we had a much smaller bracket today than anticipated, which it wasn't a bad thing. We still got really good players, because let's not forget the qualifiers are just fluff leading into the group stage, where the real meat and the real awesome matches are going to go down. But as small as this bracket may have ended up being, like Rogue's already through. We're going to have either Patience or Cure here. But Patience, Cure, Trap, Seed, and Alive, any of those players I would love to see make it to the group stage. And let's not forget, the invites for the Korean qualifiers will be sorted out and figured after all is said and done. There are some people who have been begging us to invite SOS, but I don't know. Like, Patience, for example, got to 2 qualifying matches and showed up for the second qualifier. In all honesty, I don't really care how famous SOS is. I'd rather bring Patience back and show somebody fighting, willing to fight, and put on good games for us instead.
Yeah, that's a good point. SOS did have some very fun games because he was in a hurry last qualifier, but
yeah, and
I don't know if he's gonna do that again.
I just want to make it clear with that statement, I'm not saying we wouldn't invite SOS either. It's not been ruled out. We could invite 2 Protoss. But the way we've handled things up to this point is really the players who have given us the best show are the ones who feel deserve to come back the most.
So Reaper taken care of, not a surprise. Cure, though, is going to have a second opportunity to scout with this Widow Mine drop that he's setting up. Did it scout that third base? Daisy, let's see. It did not, so that's a little unfortunate. That would tell you a lot. That would mean you don't have to bother putting down a Widow Mine to defend. You wouldn't have to bother with a Cyclone. I mean, I guess this Widow Mine actually is going to kill this Oracle, but still, it's not going to be a huge attack. It's just going to be harassment. The Widow Mine did go down somewhere. No, it did.
Well, there's another one revealed. Patience, of course. Yeah, you already burned the energy though, so he's not going to get to the natural, do too much damage, or even the main do too much damage. So, backing away from this. Then the Widow Mines might get picked up and scooped to go for a drop. Yep, 2 of them going to head across the map.
The Oracle did end up scouting the actual build from Cure, so should know about it. Getting pylons in position now. It's going to be a little more difficult covering 3 bases if probes were actually at the 3rd base, so I like that Patience is not like, obviously he doesn't actually have that many probes to transfer, but if he did drop on the 3rd, it'd only be like 2 probes killed. Definitely want to go towards that natural or main instead. That's what the Phoenix is also going to be for, both lifting a Widow Mine and also ensuring, hopefully, that the medevac dies. Because that is what you always hope will get out. The Widow Mines are kind of just forgotten about.
Looking to spin around to the natural. Maybe one goes off here, one goes off there.
Yeah, that's the 3rd base didn't even get any kills. There wouldn't have been that many kills anyways. So.
Widow Mines are completely shut down. Yo, this is actually one of the things I like a lot about the new Protoss here in Legacy of the Void. Whether you got Adepts on lockdown, you got that overcharge, or even more commonly, the Phoenix has scooped them out. I really do like Widow Mine openers. Ooh, he's gonna lose the meta because that really sucks. I really do like Widow Mine openers, Widow Mine drops, but they're a lot harder to actually execute nowadays.
Well, that is a fairly fast robotics bay. Patience might be going for Warp Prism speed, but also might be going for disruptors. Not so sure about the Colossus. We have other pros experiment Colossus. Not sure if whoopsie daisy that Oracle dies. Not sure if Patience is going to be the type to do that. Double Forge is going to take away a lot of his gas and minerals. Not that he has enough to actually afford the double upgrades now. It's all going to be going into defending against this attack first. It's all Marines. Just a couple of Widow Mines starting to follow behind too. But
They are going to have Stim accompanying this, however.
yeah, no combat shields. +1's not going to be done if he just stims on top of this army.
That poor Widow Mine. Okay, calm down there, battlecruiser.
Targets the sentry, that's nice.
Yeah, force fielding out of the main would have been really annoying if you want to go up that ramp. Or getting trapped up there even could have been bad too. Pops the shield on the Immortal. Actually, that's going to be pretty nice. About a minute before that'll be available again. These two Widow Mines, though, honestly, unless those Adepts decide to get really aggressive. Actually, if this happens, these Widow Mines are going to be great. He cancels. I think he realized they were there.
Yeah, I think he just wanted to scout. Two Phoenixes are defending the main base against any drops, and Kira does have a drop on the way, but that's probably just reinforcements, the way that it's actually headed. The Observer does not scout that. It doesn't even scout the third base. That's almost a useless Observer. There it goes, scouts third base now. And he actually stims in. He stims on top of that army without the reinforcing army. It is Disruptors.
And the Disruptors actually going to be good, and not just picking off that bio, but you can hit those Widow Mines with that protection too, so... If he's going to find himself sitting back, all these Phoenix not quite paying attention. Overcharge, though, should help with this quite a bit. That Widow Mine going to definitely get a good hit off here on the probes. Not too many, a decent hit nonetheless. Second Widow Mine going to go off. This one hits the Phoenix, but these overcharges clean up this drop. They're going to get the medevacs on the way out. Ooh, that's nasty. And that Disruptor, as we come over just in time to watch a bunch of Marines keel over and die.
Yeah, that was not the greatest. I mean, he probably would have had a lot better luck just reinforcing that main army and trying to do something. Hopefully split against the Disruptor, but... not the best start. Kure, though, did finish up his third base and is starting to get those SCVs over there up to 60, 61 versus 70 is not so bad. Double upgrades, though, can be hard to compete with as his armory is only just now started. The Disruptors, as we talked about when we saw...
Oh.
Shoot, who was it?
Oh, yeah,
Trap. Disruptors wasn't Trap's choice. It was, in fact, Storm.
A little bit curious where that Disruptor was shooting. That he's going on his own army. Drop comes back to the main. The Widow Mine's coming in for round 2, but that Disruptor shot's going to be way too good. Widow Mine doesn't have enough probes here to actually kill, and these drops out of Cure, I like the idea, but normally when you do these drops, we talk about it all the time, Terran takes small victories, picks up, and walks away, but he's walking away with nothing every single time. So not only is Cure behind double the army supply, double the resources lost, his army supply is suffering pretty heavily for this too. And Patience, he's going to get this push, and this is the type of move that makes, I think, lesser people want to nerf Protoss. But this is actually entirely Cure's fault, and not that Patience is going to A-move to win because he's like, his race is good. Patience is going to A-move to win because Cure's thrown away so much this game.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I mean, he can push in without waiting for any of these upgrades to finish, too. Like, he has a very commanding position right here, especially if the Disruptor gets any good shots. I saw the Widow Mines burrow, even though the Observer did get scanned and killed. Kills one of them. Resident Glades is almost done. How about these Adepts? The Adepts are already doing a good job, just soaking up a lot of damage.
Guardian Shield is kind of huge, too. Going to stop a lot of damage from a very Marine-heavy army.
Liberators are on the way, going to try and save Cure from this engagement. Unfortunately, with Patience getting a 4th base and just accelerating his economy and his tech, it's like the Liberators can only solve so much. Disruptors being used on purely Widow Mines. In fact, here is like, yeah, you have to have an Observer to see where they are. Not the ideal use of them, especially since there's only 2, but it is helpful.
This army for Patience is starting to get out of control. Those 2-2 is going to finish well before Cures is done. Those Adepts coming in like this are certainly risky. I don't know why you'd stack them. Like, why not spread them? Oh, no. Widow Mine's going to go left and right, though. However, that pincer move is a little too good, and the Disruptor shots, well, they don't hit much of anything. They don't need to. There's nothing to hit. Everything's dead. Yeah. Everything gets focused, blink forward, force field on that ramp means nothing else comes down. Cure's just dead in the water this game. GG. Game number 1, gonna go to Patience.
Cure's gotta mix things up.